We see the ratings for different cable news shows, mainstream news shows and things like that. That's one way to gauge how popular these things are. But what about the personalities? So The Wrap did a survey of 1,800 different viewers of these shows called the Q-Score Survey. And we have the chart of the top 24 most and least popular, headline news personalities. So let's take a look. We've got the top 10 for you there. CBS Evening News doing quite well for itself with the #1 position. Now, so what you're seeing there is obviously the show and the network, but more importantly, perhaps, the percentage of the people doing the survey who recognized that person based on their picture, and then how positive they feel towards the person. So that's what's being ranked on. But you notice huge disparity between some people like Kate Baldwin, only 7% recognizing her. Diane Sawyer at 64%.
Dude, look at Laura Logan. She's #3, but only 15% recognize her.
Yeah, that's because I guess that there seems to be.
Is there a blonde bias?
Well, there's like a positive. There must be a relation between recognizability and Q-score. Like, I don't know how that chart works, but because she's at 15. Scott Pelley's #1. He's only at 21%, and you look. Anderson, first, what is the world, how is Anderson, we talked about this upstairs. First of all, an amazing thing happened. That the #1 person on the, let's put this chart up again real quick, is Scott Pelley, who's the anchor of CBS Evening News. And 3 really smart people upstairs who produced this news show. And I'm not calling you out in any way. It's going to prove your point. Irina, Amir, and John, right? They never heard of Scott Pelley.
Yeah.
Because the evening news is so irrelevant to them. He's been doing it like 3 or 4 years now. They never watch it. You've never heard of him, Wes.
I never watched CBS News.
He's the anchor of the CBS Evening News, also on 60 Minutes. And nobody has heard of him at all. That is.
We just did a SurveyMonkey survey, which I shouldn't announce in this unceremonious way, but I believe Scott Pelley, among 18 to 35-year-olds, came in at around 4 to 5% recognition.
Yeah,
so much worse than the 21% here.
Yeah, so I'm not sure.
Among the young, like less than 5% recognition.
And I like, and by the way,
in these numbers, the favorite fictional show of these people is Murder, She Wrote.
Yeah, that's probably
there's no question.
That's probably right. But I rather like the CBS Evening News I watch Brian because we like Brian, But as far as Brian is the NBC Nightly News, you feel like they're having a debate. Like, what's our story today that's going to lift people's spirits?
Yeah.
And you want to, you're like, no, just tell me what the fuck happened, right? And I feel like CBS does a much better job of, here's basically what happened in 22 minutes and Diane Sawyer, completely unwatchable.
I'm amazed that anyone watches the evening news, and a lot of people do. Still, millions upon millions do, but they're definitely older.
Oh, they're definitely older. Yeah, I mean, both my dad and stepmom and my mom. Yeah, I mean, it's what they do.
Yeah.
But and then the other thing is, one more time with the chart, because it gets me like. So Scott Pelley, the evening news gets still. I haven't looked in a while, but I'm still like 23 million people a night between the 3 of them. Right, still a huge number. And Brian Williams, who has had basically the #1 show, rivaled now by Diane, he's at 46. Anderson Cooper is at 56. Like, Anderson Cooper, no one watches that show, Jake.
Yeah.
How is this?
Outside of the plane being missing, Chris Hayes would double or triple him nightly. Chris Hayes at MSNBC.
So how is that number? How is that number?
Chris Hayes was tripling Anderson Cooper?
On some nights,
Anderson Cooper is a genius, and that's why CNN, you can get it off. That's why CNN, but that's amazing. Like, who's his agent? Like, what has he done? Like, it's amazing how he has marketed Anderson Cooper.
I'll tell you.
Vanderbilt's son?
Yeah, well, he is, but nobody knows that. No, it's New Year's Eve.
It's the New Year's Eve thing?
Yeah, that's
and
huge.
And the daytime stuff. Now, so all that's really interesting. It's interesting to find out who the #1, the most liked is. I personally think it's far more interesting to see who is the least liked. So let's look at the bottom of the chart.
I need to look at the bottom of the chart.
Now, these are just the top 24. People you're not seeing on here.
Of the most liked.
The least liked of the most liked. Now, some people you're not going to see on the list at all, but there are a lot of notable names in this bottom part of the list. Bill O'Reilly managing to come in number 15, doing pretty well for himself. But interesting, though, that Chris Matthews at the exact bottom of the list, a 6, beaten out. So, for instance, like beaten out by Sean Hannity and Bill O'Reilly, but also the fact that Sean Hannity has the same score as Shep Smith. That's mind blowing to me. Yeah. And that Bill O'Reilly is more likable, or as likable as Shep Smith.
So I actually, okay, so this part of the chart I'm not at all surprised by. And it's not because I'm not a fan of Bill O'Reilly or Chris Matthews. It's that those guys are combative. So people are going to, certainly some percentage of the audience hates them, so gone, right? And even the percentage that isn't on one partisan side or another thinks, and that's why Chris is at the very bottom, right? The more combative you are, the less likable you are. Whereas Scott Pelley never
No, it's a different kind of show, but
has never fought anyone in his life, right? Anderson Cooper, it's more likely to hug you than fight you, right?
Unless you're Alec Baldwin.
Yeah, that's true. So, like, they're not objectionable at the top, they're combative at the bottom. That's why they don't do as well as in likability. So, but I don't think that tells you much.